And we're live.
Hello.
Nice to know you would start the show without me.
Yeah, I would. It's perfect. All right, you ready, Tina?
Yep.
On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast,
Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig feel the sharp barb of an Oscar snub.
it's the Culture Smash Cast, episode 639 for January the 24th, 2024. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of the Culture Smash Cast. Nico?
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to Culture Smash Cast.
Tina?
Tina Qualls, contributor to Culture Smash Cast.
And this dumbass right here.
I'm Zach. I'm drinking soju.
Oh. Well, I'm Steven, and I'm drinking a little, a little bourbon.
I mean, yeah, it's like, that's all I got.
We need to have a little cocktail because we're going to talk about the Oscars. But
yeah.
We had our liquor in our food.
Yep.
Perfect. Before we get there, though, join us every Wednesday night live on YouTube, Twitch, and actually, we're not doing Facebook anymore because it kind of got disconnected. We're doing YouTube and Twitch right now, starting at 6 to 6:30 whenever we can get it together. CST. Follow us on your favorite platform and join our conversation because we do follow the comments and respond to them during the show.
Yeah,
For clarification, it's getting us together, not our lives. We'll never get our lives together.
No.
That's true. That's true. So special thanks to Skinny Mixes for supporting the Culture Smash Cast. Skinny Mixes are coffee and dessert syrups that are 0 sugar, 0 calorie, and 0 2 carbs. Head on over to skinnymixes.com and try some of their syrups such as the white chocolate, salted dark chocolate, and salted caramel. And the variety of cocktail mixes they offer, including my favorite, the margarita. They also offer a variety of fruit-infused waters that are great for any kind of drink. Use promo code CultureSmash for a 15% discount on your order. So what have you guys been up to?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Aw.
Also, we, as well as everyone else in Tennessee, was snowed in for a week last week.
I plowed through 1,600 pages of a fantasy series in 3 days.
And I read my first Terry Pratchett Discworld book.
And I almost went crazy and was ready to kill people because I was locked down for 8 straight days. I couldn't get out to do anything.
And midnight movies were canceled, and we couldn't
And
make it
midnight
out.
movies. Yeah.
Like, it's not cool, okay?
Yeah.
It was, anyone in, I guess, is probably familiar with the fact that much of the state had a lot of snow and cold temperature last week. But like in the Nashville area that we're in, it was just particularly locked down because it's more than we typically get. We got as much in a day as we get for the whole year.
Yeah.
Last week.
It was almost like COVID level of lockdown.
Yeah.
It was. Well, because this city locks down with 1/2 inch of snow. And then by the end of it, I had measured out 9 inches of snow here.
We got about
in
6.5, almost 7.
Yep.
Crazy. So,
and
yeah.
more snow in February. So, buckle up.
Oh, my God. This is like, I haven't had snow like this here since I was a kid. My friends in Florida are like, I'm so jealous because you guys have snow. And I'm like, don't be jealous.
No, it's fun for a day. It's cool for a day. And then you're like, it's day 4, it's day 5. Can this stop?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the interesting thing is we didn't get a lot of snow over the week. We just got 1.5 days of like snowfall, and then
it was just so cold it didn't go away.
Exactly.
And then we got a very, very sleety rain that just made everything ice for another extra couple days. So
we were able to get out a little bit on Wednesday and do some shopping, but other than that, and also the fact that daycare was closed down for a lot of the time, so we had the baby with us too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it was just staying home, trying to keep sane, and then get to this week when things got more normal.
Speak of the devil, Avocado Antics 94. It's like, I mean, I'm jealous of the snow. That's exactly who I was referencing because she was like, I'm so jealous of the snow because she's in Naples, Florida, and they have nothing. And I'm like, it was 0 degrees here, and I couldn't go out. I was ready to.
It was negative degrees, and we were like,
yeah.
I'm fine with it staying in like the 20s. It's when you get into those single digits and freezing pipes are a thing. In the Murfreesboro area, there was a major pipe burst in our main public library in the city. It's fixed. It reopened today, but one of the problems were people weren't in the building to know that it happened because the building was shut down because of the snow.
Yeah.
So it's so funny how people that don't deal with snow or never deal with snow don't know some of the basic situations.
Like how to drive in it.
Well, not even that. Not even just that. Like I was talking to Avocado Antics. I was talking to her about this, and she was like, "You should just at least go for a walk. You could bundle up." And I'm like, "Yeah, but my blind ass doesn't need to be out there on the black ice." And she's like, "Well, what's black ice?" I'm like, "You don't know? You don't know. The bane of my fucking existence. You've never heard this before."
It's ice that rolls a nat 20 on its fucking stealth check.
Exactly. Not the stealth check, not the D&D reference.
Well, the thing is, if you went out on Monday or Tuesday, it was mostly snow. You didn't have as much ice to worry about. So that's convenient. I was able to get out with our dog on a really long walk on Tuesday afternoon, and that was fun.
And it was good quality snow. It was fluffy. It was crunchy.
Yeah,
it was prime snowball.
The quality snow.
Snowman.
I don't know if it was quality snowball material for me. It was you had to really compact it to get it.
I'm fine with it. You can wait a day.
Mess with it. I didn't even get out and mess with it. I should have. I saw some TikTok videos, and I'm kind of jealous about it because if I hadn't thought of this, I would have done it. Where people are taking like the totes, like the plastic totes, and filling them with snow, and then letting it freeze and flipping it over and building igloos in their front yards. I think that's pretty cool. People are ingenious.
Yeah.
But to more media pertinent stuff, we were finally able to get out this weekend and see some movies. Zach and I did. And it was an art house day for us. We went to the Belcourt.
It really was. It's like, all right, we're going to put your beret on. We're going to see some
it was super art. Yeah, for real. And they were one of them was amazing, was fantastic, but also like depressing as shit. And the other one was okay. It was overhyped.
One of them, I'm still not over. I still linger on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It says something.
It does say something. I need to revisit that one actually.
We'll get to that though.
Yeah, I guess we'll get to that conversation. Let's jump on into it because we're going to break down the Oscar nominations and.
No, it takes forever.
Should we talk about the one that isn't nominated? That's not on the top 10.
We'll get to it.
It's not nominated or in the top 10.
Sure.
Which one are you talking about?
All of Us Strangers.
Oh, well, you said we would get to it. I was going to try to bring it up now, but you were like, "Oh,
no, we'll get to the other one later."
Well, then bring it up because I think that's the mediocre one, kind of.
Yeah. Okay, so we everywhere I went, All of Us Strangers is like, oh man, it's the movie you gotta see. It made me cry. I've stopped crying. It's just amazing. So I went into it pretty damn cold.
Same. I didn't know anything about it really.
This movie is mid as shit.
It for me, it's like Saltburn 2.0 because Saltburn also is pretty mid, but people losing their mind over it.
I mean, I can see how this movie would affect some people. Absolutely. Does not affect me. It's about a guy that is a writer or a screenplay writer. And one day, out of nowhere, he is able to meet up with his parents again.
And I don't know if that actually, based on the marketing of the movie, that's actually kind of a mild spoiler because you don't get any of that in the marketing. The marketing is just
that's
this
the
weird.
Premise, though. I mean, that's the premise.
But it's just like the trailer just shows you this sort of surreal vibe to it, which I thought was really cool. I thought, okay, maybe this is a sort of a surreal, I don't know, soft kind of like Grand Canyon, if you've ever seen that movie. It's like character driven, but slightly off kilter. I thought, that's going to be cool. But the whole surreal vibe that's in the trailer and in the marketing is like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
In the middle. And that's it. The rest of it is just I don't know. I was disappointed. I thought it was
It's an LGBT Fight Club.
Fight Club is the movie I think of. Yeah, it's kind of like that, without the brutality,
without the sleekness, without the brutality, without the cleverness, without the payoff. I did not like it.
I didn't hate it as bad as Zach did. In fact, the thing that Zach didn't like the most, I actually think was probably the most successful part, was sort of the representation of the relationship. I felt like that was pretty well done compared to a lot of other similar movies. But yeah, it's
nothing between.
Yeah,
we felt nothing.
And that's the script's fault. That is the script.
I've seen other LGBT films where I'm like, oh man, this relationship is just so palpable. It's amazing. And this one was like,
not many. That's the thing.
And I can't go further because it would be spoilers. But you know,
exactly,
it looks
exactly.
like I was right. So I was right.
So yeah, it's pretty mid. The other movie's in the top 10 though, right?
Not in the top 10, but it's in the nominations.
Oh, okay. So we'll talk about it when we get the nominations.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the box office from last weekend, as miserable as it is. Number 10 was Poor Things. At least it's in the top 10. It made $2 million. It's made $20 million so far. That's a damn shame because everybody needs to see this movie.
Who here hasn't seen Poor Things?
Stuck.
Yeah, they haven't seen it yet. Number 9 is The Boys in the Boat. It made $2.5 million. It's made $43.8 so far. Number 8 is Night Swim. It made $2.7 million, and it's made $23.8 million so far. That's $23.8 million of wasted fucking money. Because that movie's awful.
There's a sucker born every minute.
Now, number 7, ISS. It made $3 million. It's its opening weekend. It's a pretty sad opening weekend for that movie. I kind of want to see it though. I'm going to probably try and see it in the next couple of days. Number 6 is Aquaman. How is this movie still here? And Lost Kingdom.
No, keep that as the can that be the title? Aquaman. How is this movie still here?
Exactly. It's made $3.6 million. It's made $114 million so far. Number 5 is Anyone But You. It made $5.4 million. It's made $64 million so far. This movie, I think, is supposedly doing bang up money globally. It's kind of weird.
It's weird because everybody I've heard is like,
yeah. Number 4 is Migration. It's made $5.4 million. It's made $94.8 million so far. Number 3 is Wonka. Made $6.7 million. It's made $187 million to date. Number 2 is The Beekeeper. It made $8.6 million. It's made $31 million so far. It's a mid movie, but it's Jason Statham, so fine. I'll accept it. Number 1 is Mean Girls. It made $11.6 million. It's made $50 million so far. I'm hearing this movie's kind of garbage.
I'm hearing Confusion is mainly like the name.
Well, that's due to the bullshit marketing where they try not to tell you that it's a musical. I think that's the biggest problem with it.
Well, also it's like, why does this exist? Like, what are we doing here? But hey, people are seeing it, so.
Now, of our box office section of this stream, what's most notable is the fact that I didn't put anything for opening weekend because there's nothing of note opening this weekend, and that's kind of disturbing. I mean, there's a couple of wide release movies, but one of them's a Bollywood movie, and one of them's a Snoop Dogg movie. Everything else is a limited release. That I don't know if we've had a weekend like that. Hang on.
There's a cat, maybe. I mean,
no, my little fridge the door keeps popping open. But yeah, it's weird. I don't think we've had a weekend like this where there's just nothing, not one movie that's mildly something. So the box office is going to be pretty bleak this coming up week.
Yeah, Hollywood was just frozen solid like the rest of the country over the week.
Yes, I guess. All right, so this week the nominations for the Oscars were released, and we have the list.
Some people were there for them. Some people waited until 9-something o'clock to wake up to them.
Fuck yeah, that's how you want it. That's how you.
I listened to them on my drive in, so it was like,
no.
Oh, cool.
Hell no.
You know, some people work for a living in the morning.
And some of us don't have to start because we work from home. We could just roll out of bed in our pajamas and start working, so we don't rush.
Bitch, that's what I did today.
It's nice, right?
It is. It really is. is.
It really is. All right, so I guess what we're going to do is we'll go through the categories. The Oscars are a lot easier to talk about because there's not as many categories. It's not as ridiculous as the Emmys. So we'll go through and maybe just talk about our thoughts about the nominations. And I think along the way, how do you guys want to talk about the snubs? Do you want to go through the nominations, and then talk about the snubs at the end?
We can do it by category.
I don't want to do it necessarily by category because then we'll be talking about the same movie over and over again in a lot of spaces.
Yeah, I think going through the categories first and then talking about thoughts and snubs afterwards would be the right way.
Because there's at least one movie that I'm going to talk about that's snubbed for a lot of categories.
I agree with you, but
Yeah, well, because Zach is just desperate to talk about the snubs. That's what it is.
No, I've got like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go ahead and hit them real quick. I'm actually gonna go in a reverse order so that so people get to wait until the end for Best Picture.
Wait for exactly as it should be.
Hair and makeup and hairstyling. We had Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Snow. I don't even know the first and the last one of those.
So Society of the Snow, I do know. You remember that movie Alive that came out some years ago about the plane crash where the people ended up eating each other?
That's another Society of the Snow is another one of those.
Yeah, well, it's the same story. It's just it's a Spanish movie.
Yeah, I think I know it now that you brought up that event because I remember seeing
it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
That Golda one though, I don't know that one. So that one was Barbie in that one?
No,
it's not in makeup and hairstyling. It is in the next category, production design.
But Poor Things is in makeup and hairstyling though, right?
Yeah, Poor Things is.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because that's what's going to win. Just saying.
Production. We can pick who wins when we do our actual Oscar picks.
Our games. All right.
So don't preview your strategy, sir. Production design. We have Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. In sound, we have The Creator, Maestro, which makes sense, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, and The Zone of Interest.
So, quick fun fact about Mission Impossible: that's the first nomination of that entire franchise.
Yep,
that's crazy.
I believe they're also adjusting the title for streaming when it goes to Paramount Plus.
Yeah, they're dropping the Part 1.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
Which is weird because the Blu-rays are already out.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Are they gonna when the next batch of Blu-rays come out? Are they gonna adjust that?
I'm curious if they're just doing kind of like a weird A/B testing to see does it work better, or the numbers going to go up? People streaming Dead Reckoning now than it just says Dead Reckoning.
This is why I'm glad I haven't actually bought the movie yet. I'm hoping for one of those like John Wick style steel books that just has Part 1 and Part 2 in one case.
I mean, if Part 2 is the end for Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, just wait till we're set.
Yeah, it's not the end though.
Film editing: we have Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
I have no issues with any of those.
Yeah, that's like a great category.
Yeah.
Documentary short film. We have the ABCs of Book Banning, The Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between, The Last Repair Shop, and Nana and Weipo. I hope
all the short films. Stay tuned, listeners. We'll have our thoughts on these a little later when we finally get to see them.
And that's one thing where we get into our like hardcore predictions and stuff. Is I'm really hoping we get the Oscar nominated screening thing at our art house theater soon.
We do. They already announced it. So
good. Yeah, because I want to be able to at least see these movies.
Live action short films. We have The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue, and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
So the good thing about all these shorts, I've already planned it out. There's no screening block that's going to be like 3 hours. So
yeah.
Animated shorts. We have Letter to a Pig, 95 Senses, our uniform. Wow, I can't talk tonight. Pachyderm, and War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko.
Wow.
Oh God.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
That's going to be a torture test.
Costume design is up next with Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
Okay,
I have no issues with that block.
Real quick about you're saying it's going to be a torture. Nothing can be worse than that fucking 45-minute long The Boy, the Horse, the Fox, the whatever. Nothing can be worse.
But that movie was garbage because you don't do a short film that's 45 minutes long. What the hell?
We both had to set at separate times, went to the restroom and just sat in the lobby, and it was still not over.
So real quick, if you're listening to this or watching it later or whatever, and you want to see these movies, you need to check in your vicinity and see if there's an art house theater, because these movies, the Oscar-nominated shorts, will be touring in blocks. We go to see them every year, so I would check and see.
Netflix, some of them are free to stream, some of them aren't.
Yeah,
there are typically articles that come out showing it's like, here's how you can see them. Some of them you can't, and you just gotta hope your art house has a block like ours does.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Moving on. Cinematography. We have El Conde, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
El Conde.
I like the
Netflix.
I like the Oppenheimer. I like the Oppenheimer. Just saying. I'm here for that.
Mm-hmm. In documentary feature film, we have 20 Days in Metropole,
winner.
Bobby Wine, The People's President, The Eternal Memory, Four Daughters, and To Kill a Tiger.
So this is a weird year. This is the first year for this category that I have seen none of them. I've heard of most of them, but I haven't seen a single one.
I think I remember To Kill a Tiger. Let me look it up and make sure it's the one that
I've heard of 20 Days in Maripol.
20 Days in Maripol I've heard of. Four Daughters I've heard of. Yeah, most of them I've heard the titles.
To Kill a Tiger I've heard phenomenal things about. So
I'm going to have to hope I can find these movies because, this is the first time. I haven't gotten to see any of them.
All right, original song. We have It Never Went Away from American Symphony.
Garbage.
I'm Just Ken from Barbie.
Too long.
What Was I Made For from Barbie.
Garbage.
The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot.
Flamin' garbage.
And
I haven't heard it.
I apologize if I mispronounced this. Was Hazy, which is a song for my people from Killers of the Flower Moon.
Which, if you don't know, is the last 3 minutes of the film.
And it's a great freaking song. It's great. That whole okay. So I don't know outside of the movie if it's great, but in the movie it was great.
Well, it's a Indian song, so yeah. All of these kind of suck. I mean, they're not okay. Flaming Hot is bad. That's the worst one. That is.
I haven't heard it.
I listened to all of them when they went.
Is that the movie that's based off of the Flamin' Hot Cheetos creation?
It is.
Yeah, and it turns out it was all a lie. But that song is shit. It's bad.
Wow, they couldn't get Peaches in there.
Peaches.
All right,
Peaches.
We're gonna skip stuff. So, original score. We have American Fiction.
What the fuck?
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
What the fuck?
Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
So so there's two of these. The Indiana Jones one, that's just because we love John Williams, because that score is forgettable mostly.
They got to put John Williams in there, one, because it's John Williams by default, and also two, it's this might be the last time to give John Williams
We've
an Oscar.
said that for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep saying it until it's the last time that John Williams
gets an good score though.
It's acceptable. It's fine. It's not
dude. Which is a better score? I'm not going to snubs. I'm just saying, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or Indiana Jones.
Don't get me started. I think the hype on the Spider-Man is overhyped.
Musical score.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it. I don't even remember it, to be honest.
Okay.
But the score for the American Fiction movie was part of what turned me off to the movie. It felt like TV movie music. Yeah, it was like piano jazz the whole time. Is what it was, like piano jazz.
I mean, I'll give Indy this. At least I can kind of go, I think I can remember parts of that.
You know what you know.
I love that Zach is having this conversation with an Indiana Jones poster right behind his head.
Exactly.
No way.
So here's the thing about Dial of Destiny. At least within that score somewhere are some of the original themes from the franchise. So that stuff will be good. That's fine. It's
the Oscar for all of the Indiana Jones scores. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like, hey, remember this moment from Crusade? We're just gonna replay the music from that. It's like that's so easy.
That's fine.
All right.
Continue.
Visual effects. Moving on. The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon.
So this is interesting. I would love it if Mission Impossible won that one. Because that's the movie that has some practical effects in it. But at the same time, it'd also be pretty neat if Godzilla won, because
those are the two that I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Mad Max situation where everyone's like, please win. But I don't think it has a chance in hell. I mean,
I don't think so either. It'd be cool, though.
Is damn impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a viral, like a kind of a viral video out now. When you see the crew find out, like the entire team find out that they were nominated for an Oscar, it's like the most wholesome cinema moment of all time, because they just lose their shit.
They have the little Godzillas watching the screen.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
It really is.
Next up, original screenplay: Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, and Past Lives.
Finally get something for Past Lives. Finally.
Finally. And The Holdovers is probably going to win that one.
Yeah. I don't know. Anatomy of a Fall is also a really good one, though.
People are really hyping Anatomy of a Fall, and I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, because you a bitch.
You a bitch.
Bitch, I went and saw it. And you know what? It was really good.
And you learned that you need to text me and not just keep sending Facebook messages.
I have receipts.
I know. Stupid ass Facebook messages. Continue,
right.
damn it.
Adapted screenplay. We have American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised Killers of the Flower Moon wasn't on that one.
Yeah, that's the big snub of this category. Is like, where's that?
Mm-hmm.
Next up, animated feature film. We've got The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man: Across the Spider-Verse.
So
I have to see this Robot Dreams movie. Do you guys know about this movie?
No, I haven't heard of it.
It's a Spanish animated film. It's all 2D, like traditional old school animation. And it's kind of a sci-fi thing about, it's got, robots, but it's sort of like a character study. But what's most interesting is there's zero dialogue. It's all told visually, and it's a feature.
Really?
Yeah. I'm dying to see it.
Okay.
And the animation looks like it's so cute.
Is it streaming anywhere? Or is it?
I don't know. I just heard about it today, actually. And Spider-Man is in there. Spider-Man's probably going to win that one, I bet. But
it's Neon. I bet you Neon releases this now.
They probably will. But it's one of those movies that you find out about only because of the Oscars, and now I have to see it.
Next up, international feature film. We've got El Capitano from Italy, Perfect Days from Japan, Society of the Snow, Spain, The Teacher's Lounge, Germany, and The Zone of Interest, United Kingdom.
I've only seen one of those movies this year. That's kind of shocking. But
one of those films is also nominated for Best Picture. But that's a little spoilery. I wonder if it'll win. Real quick about Robot Dreams. So Neon picked up the distribution rights, but they have not released it yet. So that's TBD.
Yep.
Best director. We have Jonathan Glazer for Zone of Interest. Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things. Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. Martin Scorsese for Killers of a Flower Moon. And Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall.
That is a fucking stacked lineup. I mean,
It
God
really
damn.
is. It really is.
I mean, I've seen all 5 of these films, and I'm like, fuck. Like, I know probably who's going to win at this, if I was to bet right now. Like, fuck, any one of those would win in any other year. Like, last year, the year before that, any one of them would have.
Yeah, it's killer. Damn. It's a killer list.
Best supporting actress. We have Emily Blunt from Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks from The Color Purple, America Ferrera from Barbie.
What?
Jodie Foster. Sorry, Jodie. From Naiad.
And apologize like you know her personally.
She listens. You didn't know? She listens.
And Divine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers.
Okay, we all know who's going to win, but American Fiera for Barbie? What the fuck?
You can say what you want about Barbie, like it or not like it. She is not what I would say doing like Oscar quality acting.
Scene where she like stands on a soapbox and delivers a monologue. Best supporting actress?
For real? For real. And then we have the movie. I feel like every year now we get one of those movies that feels like it literally just bought its way into the Oscars because no one's heard of it, and that would be Naiad. I love Jodie Foster, but
it's a Netflix
movie. I've heard of it. I've seen the trailer,
where did this movie come from?
Netflix.
Yeah.
Best supporting actor. We have Sterling K. Brown in American Fiction. Bobby De Niro from Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes.
Yep. Bobby Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. from Oppenheimer. Ryan Gosling from Barbie and Mark Ruffalo from Poor Things.
Okay,
now see, this is a situation.
Loki came in and took a massive shit. God damn.
Perfect.
You got 2 Bobby D's in here. Bobby De Niro and Bobby Downey.
You are failing us.
You are failing.
I'm very exhausted, baby.
You have RDN and RDJ.
Yeah, I do.
Exactly. So Ryan Gosling being nominated here doesn't bother me because he does kind of steal that movie a lot of times.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he's doing his Val Kilmer and Tombstone situation where he's like stealing the movie.
Yeah.
I just like how when they're announcing for songs, you can tell on his face he's like, shit. Now I'm gonna have to fucking perform that at the
Yeah.
So real quick, Sterling K. Brown in American Fiction.
Yeah.
When you were watching that movie, were you like, "Oh man, this is gonna land him an Oscar nom"?
There's nothing that he really does in that movie that feels like I feel like
he's a gay character that likes drugs and fucking and is kind of a shit bag.
Yeah, and that's all right. I mean, there's opportunity with that kind of character. There's opportunity for an Oscar caliber performance, but he didn't really do anything.
Yeah, there's
that
nothing
warrants
in that
it.
Performance. I was like, oh man.
You know, I look at nominations like that one and like America and the supporting actress, and I think, is this a situation where you're sitting there as a voter and you're like, oh man, I really think this movie should be represented in some way, but I can't give it to any of these categories, so let me just pick one here. It just feels like that to me somehow. Because neither of these actors did the kind of work that you would expect for an Oscar caliber performance. To me.
That's the big one. I was like, what? Okay.
Now if we're gonna get there, but if Jeffrey Wright were nominated, I could maybe see it. I could see it because he's pretty great in that movie. Go ahead.
We'll get there. But first,
All
Best Actress, we have Annette Bening in Nyad, Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon,
Hell
Sandra
yeah.
Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall,
Hell yeah.
Carey Mulligan in Maestro, and Emma Stone in Poor Things.
Hell yeah.
And Best Actor, we have Bradley Cooper in Maestro, Coleman Domingo in Rusted. I did not hear of this movie at all.
Yeah, I have not heard of that film.
Yeah, same. I don't know what that is.
Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian
Hell
Murphy for Oppenheimer,
yeah.
and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction.
Oh,
There you go.
Rustin is a Netflix movie.
Of course.
It's like it's always just this massive blind spot of like, here's the Netflix movie, and we're all going, what the fuck is this movie?
Yeah.
And then next up, Best Picture, we have American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Things.
Wait, that's Past Lives, sir.
Past Lives.
Not Poor Lives.
Things, and then The Zone of Interest. Yeah, maybe
Not Poor Lives or Past Things.
I would watch those movies too.
So, real quick question: how many of these have you seen right now?
Wait, shit! I have to look at the list again, and because there's so damn many.
Of the best.
You've seen 3, all right.
I've seen American Fiction.
3. Okay.
I saw Barbie, Holdovers, Killers, Oppenheimer,
I hope to see more
Past
of
Lives,
before the
Poor
ceremony,
Things,
but
Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
I've seen 9 out of 10.
I've seen 8 out of the 10. So not too bad, not too shabby. And if I can find Anatomy of a Fall to see before the actual Oscars, I'm going to do it.
Good, man. Okay,
Yeah.
so now that we've talked about that, do you want
So
to quickly talk
there's the
about
list. So wait, can we just get a quick sort of vibe from what you guys think about the nominations? Like how do you feel about it?
They are the most.
There are some that are definitely deserved, but I don't know. I still think Oscars are more leaning towards whose ass should we kiss right now.
I mean, to me, it feels like based on the films I've seen this year, it's like the most. I mean, go look at my top 10. 6 of those films are on Best Picture. It feels like the most safe. I mean, they're not bad movies; they're good movies. Like all of these are. I haven't seen Maestro. Are really good. It's just there's no standout. There's no "Don't Look Up" moment. You know, there's no film on here where you're like, what the fuck is this doing here? You know, moment when looking at these.
See, I think this is what's interesting because that sort of what you and Tina both said is what a lot of people are saying, and I'm like, I think this year the thing is there's such a gap between something like Oppenheimer or Killers of the Flower Moon as far as quality, overall film quality, to everything else. And that's why there's this list of expected nominations, and they all got nominated. So no one is surprised. So you can't look at this year's Oscars like a sporting event, because it's not going to be, because you pretty much know who's going to win the majority of these awards. And I think people are kind of like disappointed and kind of bored in that way because of it. But to me, these are the best movies. I'm looking at this list and I have some real issues with some snubs, but in general, I think the nominations that are there, and this doesn't happen that often, but for me, the nominations that are there are deserved, and I'm fine with it. And
some of them are very much deserved, like Robert Downey Jr. for supporting actor, Lily Gladstone. Fuck yeah!
Yeah,
there's some that are very much well deserved.
Let's be honest. It's Robert Downey Jr.'s category to lose.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So with that in mind, what is nominated there that's really aggressively not deserved? That's the thing. Because for me, as I look at the list, I'm like, okay, I could see arguments for nearly every category, every movie or actor in every category.
So the only one I would just point out and go, no. American Fiera for Barbie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Elemental for animated feature?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
And I agree.
Going
and
back
and
to Spore, Indiana Jones and American Fiction.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like those are just like.
You, the only reason Elemental's on there is we have to have a Disney movie.
I mean, Disney owns ABC, and the Oscars are showing on ABC. We need to have Disney film representation. Well, I mean, okay, fine. You get your wish. Elemental is now off the list. Wish is on there now, and the monkey's paw curls.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the biggest issue is with that particular category, and I guess we can roll on into snubs at this point because it kind of puts us there.
Teenage Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Well, I think in that category, people are really disappointed that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was snubbed.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Turtles was snubbed. Yeah.
What? No. There's no Suzume.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I wouldn't mind Turtles being snubbed if Disney had a better movie to put up.
Well, the thing is, it's
Elemental is the most
so
safe
good for an animated Turtles movie. I'm gonna give her some more later.
Wait, what did?
Seen The Boy and the Heron, so I can't really make a call on that. I haven't seen Nimona, but I've heard really good things about Nimona, whereas Boy and the Heron I've heard mixed things about.
The thing that's interesting about Boy and the Heron, and I kind of regret not seeing it, is the level of divisiveness. Because like Zach hates it, other critics that I follow really like it. It's really split, and that's interesting to me.
Yeah,
I despised it.
Now, like, Ninja Turtles, though, people are losing their mind over Ninja Turtles, and I saw it, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was all right.
One of the things I look forward to for animated feature film is seeing different ways to animate a film. I'm tired of seeing only 3D or only 2D animation. It's like, give me something eye-popping. Like, that's one of the reasons why Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse I was so hyped for, because the animation style was something new. Like Nimona and Turtles, it was something new.
Visually exciting. I want to see Robot Dreams after we talked about it and looking into it. Mm-hmm. I like that part of the Oscars. It was like, oh, that's a movie I haven't seen or heard of yet.
Let me watch
it. Looks really good.
Fantastic, yeah.
But then you get, again, and it's easy to harp on, Elemental. And like, really? I mean, if Disney bought a slot, it's like, you always have to have a Disney movie here. And it's like, all right, maybe that's the Disney movie to put up, but still.
Yeah, and the thing about Elementals, when I saw it, it's not. I feel like it's not as bad as everybody made it out to be, but it's also not particularly good. It's just, it's fine. It's whatever.
Which film?
But I think part of the issue with it's interesting because I think there's too many slots in some of these categories. Because, like, when I look at the best picture, I don't know that I like I guess I'm used to it now, but the 10, because then you get movies like Maestro, which is not very well loved.
Maestro is the bad guy of this year. Like, it is the film that, like, literally go to Rotten Tomatoes, go to Metacritic, like, it's the lowest rated critically film, and it's the only Netflix film on here. It's the bad guy of this year.
And it's full on just getting the attention. I feel the attention and the love because, it's so artsy. And also it's, made by one of our, own actors turned director. And it's, I can't even watch it because I'm just not interested.
3-3-1. It's classic. Like, it's.
Isn't it in black and white?
Some of it.
Yeah. Not all of it. So it bounces back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, we keep going on that one, or do we want to talk about any other categories?
So is there anything else in any other categories that really stand out as like you really shouldn't be there? I know Zach and I both have a feeling about America Ferrera, but you guys haven't commented You know, you may have a different
It was
feeling. I don't know.
Barbie movie, but I'm kind of the opinion you guys are. It wasn't, especially for the people that she's going up against. It wasn't what I would qualify as Oscar worthy.
The only thing I have is I don't know who I would put in its place, and that could be like you were talking about, Steven, too many options. But I don't. There's not another performance that jumps to mind that goes, "Oh, I should put that there."
Natalie Portman in May December, or Julianne Moore in May December.
Did not see that one, so I can't.
I haven't seen it. I heard they're great.
That one either, but like I could go Rosamund Pike and Saltburn. Like as much as I feel like that movie's fine, I think her performance.
But Rosamund Pike really is the best thing about that movie.
Yeah, like I can absolutely replace her.
And that could just be good because as we just said, we each only saw 3 of the 10 top 10 movies. So we're probably not the best people to ask.
You are cramping our movie going.
You are,
kid.
To fill in this block, but yeah, that's the only thing I would say on it. I am kind of miffed a bit about the backlash that Barbie's nominations have been getting, which I think otherwise would be a good showing. Like Barbie's got several nominations. I think last I checked, it was like 4th in terms of most nominated films. I think it's Oppie, Killers of the Flower Moon, and one of the other ones is ahead of it. But it's still got several nominations in a lot of categories. Yeah. But because Ken got nominated and the movie's called Barbie and Barbie didn't get nominated, the internet is just going nuts over it. And I think the standout performance of the movie is Ken.
And then people are like, well, because, of course, Ryan Gosling came out, saying this is the whole point of the Barbie movie. And it's like, yeah, but he's not upset enough to decline the Oscar. And I'm like, who in their fucking right mind is going to decline an Oscar?
Yeah, you don't decline an Oscar. I mean, fuck you.
You could just pull a what's his name? Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
Wait, so if Lily Gladstone wins, does that mean Marlon Brando will rise up from a cold, dark grave and accept
But getting back to the Ryan Gosling bit, it's like Gerwig got nominated for screenplay. I think that's fair. I think there's a lot of good. There's stuff I don't like about Barbie, but there is stuff in the writing of Barbie that I think is good. So I'm fine with it being in screenplay. I know there's a debate about is it original versus adapted. I don't care. It's an Oscar-nominated screenplay.
It's not adapted though. What's it adapted from?
You're taking a property and you're adapting.
Yeah, they're taking an existing intellectual property that already has story elements and making a movie based.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's true. I get it.
This character. Well, they were created and they were discontinued and blah blah blah. Like,
I get it. Yeah. All right. That's all I needed. I 100% see that. Yeah.
It makes sense, but it has a lot of nominations, and I think most of them are good contenders.
Yeah.
Gosling's not going to win supporting, and that's going to go to somebody named Robert. But it's good that he got nominated because he did steal the show.
I woke up this morning to my FYP flooded with women blowing up about how Greta Gerwig did not get nominated for Best Director, and
she's been nominated before, and this is easily her weakest film. And then let's go to the lineup of Best Director.
Yeah, it's not
Zone of Interest, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Anatomy of Fall. Okay, you have to remove one and replace it.
The point I'm making is it's not a male shutout. It's not like all men in the one for Anatomy of the Fall. Yeah, Justine Triet is.
Mm-hmm. And this is where I take some issue because a lot of times I've seen videos this morning talking about, we need women representation and they're shutting us out, and I'm like, well, one, there is a woman nominated, and two, if you're really, really in this about not comparing quality of film, but really talking about wanting representation, then why are you preaching about this movie and not preaching about Celine Song, who should be fucking nominated for Best Director?
Yeah.
And not only is she a woman, she's a woman of color.
She's a first-time director, and she made fucking
magic.
Past Lives. It's like, holy shit.
I mean, if you're really in it for that, and that's really what you mean, then why aren't you talking about the best movie that was from last year? Because Barbie, even if you love it, you have to be able to look at it and see the fucking flaws, because they're there.
Okay.
Past Lives is great, and it's a really good directing challenge, especially bouncing back and forth between so many languages on camera.
Yeah. Arguably, on top of that, I would put Greta Lee's performance up against Margot Robbie's any day of the week.
Yeah, and twice on Sunday. I mean, like, I've been pointing the gun and saying, okay, take someone off and put Greta Gerwig on. All right, I'm going to pull the gun back on me and go, all right, I want Greta Lee, Celine Song to go on Best Director. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, it's just a stacked lineup. Like,
this is a year where some of the most badass directors in the filmmaking world blew it up, and that it doesn't happen like that too many years. And Greta Gerwig is a fantastic director, but if you compare the quality of Barbie to the quality of Lady Bird, there's no fucking comparison. Lady Bird is a 5 out of 5 film.
Yeah,
even her rendition of Little Women, I think, is stronger than Barbie.
I didn't like the film, but I still think it's better.
It is, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Barbie was a whole lot more challenging, I think, than something like Lady Bird or Little Women. But at the end of the day, which one did she do better? Because to me, I was watching someone talk about this earlier, and they were talking about Margot Robbie not being nominated, and they made a good point. Is if you take this and look at Margot Robbie's career, is her performance as Barbie better or stronger than her performance in I, Tonya? And it's a no. Her performance in I, Tonya is iconic.
She disappeared into that role. There were times in I, Tonya that I forgot I was watching Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
The entire Barbie movie, I knew it was Margot Robbie.
It was Margot Robbie doing Barbie, and it was obvious the whole time. When you look at Robert Downey Jr.'s performance in Oppenheimer, I fucking forgot it was him.
And that's when Tony Stark. I don't.
No, that's Oscar caliber stuff right there, and that's why Greta Lee, if you want to really put somebody in there that deserves to be nominated, her performance was incredible. Like, just her facial expressions will make me cry.
Dude, there's
she's
some
so good.
moments where there's no dialogue being said for like minutes, and you're just like, oh my god. Look.
Yeah, the fact that you have emotion coming off just by it's like the Elizabeth Moss effect of being able to communicate in a scene without being able to talk. You get so much pushed across with the way your eyebrows are angled, or the pursing of the lips, just minute facial detail and body language selling the scene.
I feel like Barbie is this year's Black Panther.
Yeah.
Where it's a mid movie, but because of the cultural relevance, people are pissed because it's not being like lavished with prizes. And I respect the cultural relevance of these movies, but they're 5 out of 10s. And 5 out of 10s don't win awards.
They really are. Holy shit.
Both of them.
A wonderful analogy there. Yeah.
It's like, is the message with Black Panther, is the message with Barbie important? Hell yes, it is. And it's going to always be important. That doesn't mean it gets a participation trophy.
Exactly. But we're in a participation trophy society. And it's just so
participation trophies.
It's so problematic because, and then the other thing is, I say this every year when we start talking about the Oscars and people get pissed, is people take it personally and no one seems to remember that this is a corporate award ceremony.
Yeah.
This is a group of people and you're not in it.
Yeah, this is a corporation patting each other on the back for the shit they did. We don't have a say in this,
Yeah, there's no flex da 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 to vote for your favorite movie. It's like, no.
I mean, there was at one point I think they talked about adding like, popular film category, and it got.
Oh, you mean like the Globes did?
Yeah, that was it. It got blown up so hard of like, let's never do this again.
Yeah, it's the biggest snub talk right now is all around Barbie, and I'm like, Barbie got nominated for the things it should have gotten nominated for. I just don't see the fucking problem. I didn't really like the movie because the problems with it just stick out so hard to me. But I'm not here to say that it shouldn't be nominated for a lot of things.
Oh, no,
it did really great. I personally think it did really great in like set design and hair and makeup and costuming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I want to see Barbie, if it wins awards, win one for those categories because, dear God, it felt like I was watching Barbies that I played with, like the clothes, the sets, like that for sure. But it also has some stiff competition in those categories. So,
and as I think about it, like what Nico was saying, as far as the screenplay nomination is, even though I think the screenplay does not stick the landing, I do see room for a nomination for recognition of it because it is something really different, and there are parts of it that work. So it shouldn't win, but it should be recognized for attempting to do what it attempted to do.
yeah.
So I get that. But Margot Robbie's done better work. And so has Greta Gerwig. So I mean, I think that's it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm more upset that we don't have more past lives in here. It just kills me.
Yeah, that one hurts, but I mean, I'll accept it, but it still hurts.
And the sad part is, I think the things that Past Lives did get nominated for, I'm telegraphing my game. It's not going to win. Yeah. It's going to get shut out. I think the movie is going to be shut out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. And then the other thing we kind of did sort of touch on a little bit was Killers of the Flower Moon not being recognized for the writing.
I've read the screenplay. It's fucking good.
It is good.
I did notice.
I finally finished the fucking book. So
how was the book?
It was good. It was not as dry as I expected it to be. Not as especially with reading a lot of nonfiction-y books. It's not as like I'm reading a school book report,
Yeah.
Or a term paper. So I very much enjoyed it.
I think I can't wait for you guys to actually see the movie. Yeah. I think it probably has my favorite ending of a movie this year, just because it's just such a brilliant ending. And we can't.
I don't know. Again, you think of Past Lives, like,
well, okay,
impacted me, but the ending of Killers is like, I just had to sit in my seat and kind of take it in. It's that like.
Well, and two of my top three movies, those two, my top three movies of the year had the strongest endings, so they're both amazing. Oppenheimer had a fine ending too, but its ending doesn't
fucking killer ending too.
It did. But I for me, if we're talking about just ending, doesn't compare to those two movies. What others? What? Go ahead.
It's a good year for film. And speaking, transition of another film that had a banging ending.
Yeah.
Also nominated for Best Picture. Steve and I went and saw the Zone of Interest.
Do you guys know what this movie's about?
No.
Oh shit! Did we tell them?
Oh. So it's in.
Do you think that it's going to be another Parasite situation where it?
No.
But
it's not.
I knew the basis. Steven didn't.
I went into this movie having only seen the movie poster and hearing that it was good, and that fucked me up.
I mean, a bit of a shock for you, right?
Yeah, I'm sitting there watching the movie and I'm like, holy shit. Have you guys not watched the trailer for this movie?
No.
I have, but it's been a while. I don't remember it too well.
So, oh God, I'm so annoyed because I wish you guys had at least watched the trailer so we could speak on what's in the trailer. Because that was some kind of experience for me, boy.
I can't imagine, because to me that's like, I heard the premise and I went, oh shit. So
Is
for you to
it streaming
discover
anywhere,
that, it's like,
oh no, it's still in the theater. It just
Okay.
came out. Yeah, it just came out wide. And I think it's only showing at Belcourt here.
God damn it.
yeah, it is expanding eventually, but
Yeah, I think it
Well,
either is or it might be at one or two of the Regals here.
I
But
might start expanding because of the nomination.
probably. I hope so. Because that was something. That movie, my recommendation is don't look at anything about it like I did and just go see it and you'll shit your pants. Because it's like, what? Oh
All
my
right.
God.
I will.
What?
I will purchase adult diapers.
Perfect. You will need them.
it's not, I don't know if it's that level, but
I mean, it's not that kind of like disturbing kind
your
of thing.
stomach
It's not
hurts
like
and you go, oh
it's
my
not like
God.
Martyrs or something. It's not that like kind of disturbing, but it is when you're watching it, the way the characters and everything, the way it's portrayed. At first, you're like, "Oh, this is going to be one thing," and then all of a sudden you realize what it is, and it's like,
Oh,
not what I thought it was going to be. It's
I
not
mean,
the same.
this is one of those rare films that, like, not to tip my hat, but like the sound is
Yeah, the
quite
sound
possibly the most important thing
is about the movie.
about
Yep.
the film. And
Yep.
I mean, I had heard like, oh my God, the sound, ooh, and then seeing it, it's like, whoa. I mean, you remove the sound from that movie and have subtitles only, the film changes completely. I mean,
Well, yeah, of course it would.
I know, of course it would, but like, I'm trying to be.
Well, okay, so the better way to put it, better way to put it is, in this situation, the sound is a character in the movie.
Yes.
And to take the sound mix away would be like removing a character from the movie. It's that important.
Yeah.
So to see this in the theater is kind of important if you really want the full effect of it, because you need that sound mix, because it's actually it's part of it. It's crazy. It really is crazy, but it's part of it.
Even the music, like, that was kind of a shock, to where it didn't get nominated for music. I get it though. It's a very experimental, unpleasant film score when it appears. I mean, we sat through the whole credits, and I think at the end we just turned each other and went, "Holy shit!" Because the music was nightmare inducing.
It was.
I mean, it's like unlike anything I've ever heard. But I mean, it is full get your beret and French bread art house, film that's going to take its time, that's going to go and say, hey, you know what? We're going to start our film like this. Yeah. And you're just like, oh, okay. No.
And it really has an impact if you don't know what the movie's about. Trust me.
I mean, not since Climax has there been a film to where when it cut away and the sound went away, and you know what sound I'm talking about, and when it went away, I was like, oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm saying that about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So in that respect, this movie also got its proper nominations.
Yes.
Here. I mean, it could be a Paradise situation. People could think it's that important. And I wouldn't cry about it if that happened in a way, but there are movies in, like, especially Best Picture, that I like better. So I hope it doesn't happen.
Oh, it would have made my top 10 for sure.
Yeah, if had I got to see it before the end of the year, it would have mine as well. But it was just limited release, and we weren't part of that limited situation, so we missed it.
I'm damn happy.
But the good part of that is it gets to sit temporarily in my top 10 for this year, and until something else happens.
I mean,
something better comes out.
But it's been 5 days, 3 or 4 days, and I'm still not quite fully over that.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. So, are there any other snubs that got missed that we should talk about?
Not that I can think of currently.
I mean, those are essentially mine. The Past Life snubs and the Killers of the Flower Moon being snubbed for its writing. Those are the ones that really bother me. But I think that's amazing. As I look at the list, I'm like, while other people are like, oh, it's so predictable. I'm like, damn, it's just such a good year. I just don't have much to complain about.
It's predictable because it's been a really good year. It's been a solid year for movies.
And a lot of these movies are big tentpole movies.
Yeah.
Yes, Oppenheimer is going to be nominated for a lot of stuff. Yes, Killers of the Flower Moon is going to be nominated for. You have like seminal directors releasing stuff this year, like Scorsese, Nolan. It's just, you have a lot of stuff coming out. And you know what, you as in the audience, know what a lot of these are because you've seen, if you did not see them, you've at least seen these movies mentioned and talked about. So yeah, of course they are going to be the best picture nominees.
I mean, the only films on this list I can see that didn't really get I would say a wide release, Anatomy of a Fall, that's Neon. Maestro is Netflix. Zone of Interest is just now being released, but that's also A24. But that's about to go wide.
Yeah, it's spreading. Yeah,
I mean,
so they're all like watchable, which is
they're
pretty
all
cool.
out there. There's no film to where you're like, outside of the Netflix one, to where you're like, I've never heard of this.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm okay with. I'm fine with it this year. But I do like it, like you said, Nico. When we discover something, that's cool too. But I don't know. It's a good year.
There's a lot of in the smaller press categories that I'm looking forward to diving into. So.
All right. Excuse me while I yawn. Moving on, we will be doing our annual Oscar game in the next few weeks. We'll figure out what the schedule looks like for that. I'd like to be able to time it after seeing at least the shorts.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them. But we'll figure out what that schedule looks like and plan that. So if you're listening, watching this later, basically that is a game where we predict who's going to win. And of course, we...
And I have a tradition of trying to screw up everybody's game.
You said you said you were going to play this year.
But I might actually play this year. I might legitimately try to pick this year.
I told that to Nathan and he got excited. He's like, she's actually going to play? And I'm like, I don't know. She said she might.
I might actually play. So...
go ahead.
I might play this year, but I will definitely go back to finding random ways to pick things.
And like last year, we will live stream across my TikTok account here, so you'll be able to watch. We're all going to get together and watch. So,
oh yeah.
All right. So we've got one story. I think we've got time to do it.
Yeah. Give me a hot second. Doug Liman will not be taking a trip to Austin, Texas in March for the premiere of his feature, Roadhouse. That's right, the Amazon MGM remake of the 1989 Patrick Swayze feature, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. The filmmaker is boycotting the premiere in protest of studio Amazon MGM declining to give the film a theatrical release, as it has done for features such as Ben Affleck's Air. He revealed the news in a column published on Deadline, with his comments coming at a rather inopportune time for the marketing campaign for the film. Amazon plans to release the trailer on Wednesday. Lyman signed on to make Roadhouse in 2021 prior to Amazon buying the studio, and after its purchase of MGM, Amazon touted its intention to invest $1 billion in theatrical movies. I can tell you what they then did to me and my film Roadhouse, which is the opposite of what they promised when they took over MGM, wrote Lyman. The filmmaker stated that Roadhouse, which bows March 21st on the streaming service, received higher test scores than some of its biggest hits, including Mr. and Mrs. Smith and The Bourne Identity. And he said he begged Amazon to either put the film in theaters or allow him to sell it to a studio that would. Both requests were denied. Lyman wrote, Amazon asked me and the film community to trust them and their public statements about supporting cinemas, and then they turned around are using Roadhouse to sell plumbing fixtures.
I don't think that's true because I don't think anyone's subscribing to Amazon Prime for this.
In recent years, projects from streamers like Air and Apple's Napoleon and Killers of the Flower Moon have been granted traditional theatrical releases. Next up, Apple's Argyle will get a global release via Universal. Lyman himself has made streaming movies before and says he's not opposed to them. He has Apple's Instigators coming up. But I am opposed to Amazon gutting MGM and its theatrical business, as I would have had Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post and then gutted its newsroom.
I just love it. That's a fair criticism. I have nothing.
It is.
The only thing I would say is that Amazon as this article talks about, Amazon has released things theatrically.
Yeah.
So
Amazon used to be the streaming company I trusted because they would put their stuff out theatrically, but it doesn't seem to be the case now.
It cites Air, which is a recent release. It came out about a year ago now.
It cites Napoleon.
Well, Napoleon's on Amazon.
But isn't Air is Amazon, right?
Yes. Air is Amazon. So
okay.
I understand the hype on jumping on streamers. I think it's earned. But I'm curious on if Amazon saw it and went, no.
Yeah, we'll have to ultimately see the movie to determine Amazon's thinking process. But as it stands right now, I'm kind of on Lyman's side of like, hey, let me release this theatrically, or let me sell it to a studio that will. And Amazon's like, no. And if Amazon made that promise of upholding, theatrical releases, then it's kind of a shit move.
Well, when they bought MGM, they did say that. Yeah. They were like, "Don't worry, MGM is a theatrical company. We're still going to put movies out in theater." And Lyman, on his side of it, had signed up with the MGM. He didn't sign up with Amazon.
Yeah, that's I'm as of this moment, I am more on Lyman's side.
I am overall on Lyman's side industry wide, but for the specific movie, I want to know the movie. Like I want to see it because Amazon could just go, yeah, this one's shit.
Let's be honest. Jake Gyllenhaal is no Patrick Swayze.
Yeah. True. Although arguably Jake Gyllenhaal is a better actor than Patrick Swayze was.
And he does.
It's Roadhouse. You don't really need the acting.
While Jake Gyllenhaal works out, like he can get crazy ripped, I don't think he has quite the
physique
of like Patrick Swayze would in Roadhouse.
Well, it's so funny when you say that because I look at Jake Gyllenhaal when they casted him. I thought, well, this is not good casting because I don't see him playing that guy. But when you look,
the twink in Brokeback Mountain, like.
but if you look back to when Patrick Swayze was cast, he was a dancer. He wasn't like a tough guy. So in that respect, maybe it's appropriate casting. I don't know. But and maybe you're right. I would love to think that you're right, and they just did the studio thing where they looked at the movie and thought, "Oh, this is dog shit, so it's not going to make us any money. Let's drop it right on streaming." But I don't know. It does make me think twice about them. It makes me sad that I'm going to go to Apple for my trusted streaming studio that actually gives us theatrical releases.
It's fair to be suspicious, but just be aware that is a possibility.
Now, if we see the movie and it's like, oh, thank you, Amazon, for making sure I didn't pay physical money to see this in the theater, okay.
Yeah. But if we see the movie and go, actually, this is pretty good. Amazon, you fucked up. That's bad.
Yeah. Well, and I guess in Amazon's mind, either way is a win for them if more people watch it on the streaming service anyway. And that's kind of unfortunate. But that's
Amazon. I still view the Amazon Prime Video as a loss leader. It's like you're not really getting people to subscribe. Although now they have gone to an ad tier format. Maybe they are trying to make more money on the streaming platform. They have to pay the $1 billion that they paid for Rings of Power. That money's got to come from somewhere.
I would love to know. I would love a poll asking people how many people actually sign up for Amazon Prime for the video, or if they're just signing up for the free shipping, because that's all I care about is the free shipping.
Yeah, free shipping. Yeah.
I would definitely not be signing up for their streaming service, even though I do watch, the Reacher series and a few other things once in a while. It's not enough for me to care.
I do Prime mostly for the free shipping and Kindle Unlimited. Yeah, with Kindle Unlimited, I get all the smut books,
all the literature.
If you want really good, like not well written plot lines, but like smut upon smut upon smut, everything's on Kindle Unlimited. Everything.
Good to know. Good to know. Perfect. All right. Moving on. We do have a few. We do have a few physical releases. It's still trashuary, so not much. But Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 1 is out on Blu-ray and 4K. I want to see this. Crisis on Infinite Earth was one of my favorite sort of comic book reset stories. So I'll be interested to see how this comes out.
It's also one of 3. It's going to be a 3-part release.
Ah, damn it. All right. Damn it. All right, Kindergarten Cop is out on 4K. Who would have thought that would happen? But here it is.
There's a lot of 4Ks I could go.
Actually, just like Kindergarten Cop real quick. I last year read, I forget the name of the book, but Schwarzenegger had a book out last year, like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And in it, he says that the movie he has profited the most from, do you know what it is? Twins.
I can see that.
Huh. Fascinating.
Twins made a shit ton of money.
I guess. That's interesting.
It's just the production deal that they made to get it made. He got so much money on the back end of it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I mean, maybe he came in as a producer.
In 88, made $216 million.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
But as far as what you said is being surprised, or why, I think any movie that is of reasonable budget and quality shot on a piece of film should get a 4K. Will it? No. And that's my surprise. Is this really the Schwarzenegger movie that we really needed right away? I don't know. I love it though. I'll buy it. But yeah, if it was shot on film, I want the 4K.
I loved it because it helped inspire some of the game visuals for Silent Hill. No, for real. The school is like legit copied from Kindergarten Cop.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it is.
That's hilarious. That is so funny. I had no clue that was a thing. All right, so also you can get Stephen King's Thinner. I think this is just a reissue because I looked at it. It looks like the same box as that was out before. Jennifer 8 Special Edition is out. Special Ops Lioness Season 1. I watched some of this show. I got bored and tapped out. And then the Triplets of Belleville. The Triplets of Belleville is a great example of an animated film that I never would have heard of if it weren't for the fact that it was Oscar nominated. So I recommend the Triplets of Belleville if you haven't seen it.
So with Thinner, no, this isn't a reissue.
All right. I mean, it looks basic as hell, but okay.
I mean, it's Shout Factory coming out with the collector's edition of it, but the previous release was from 12 years ago.
All right. Well, I put it in here so people know they can go buy it. Not from Best Buy. You're going to have to buy it online.
Hey, you know what? There are Thinner fans out there. There are maybe dozens of them, possibly a dozen.
And that's why it was in the list, sir. I'm here for them. All 8 of them. All 9 of them. All right, let's bring this thing to an end so we can all get some dinner. I'm going to be back on the TikTok at 9 o'clock with an interview with Jamie Hill, the actress that played the mom in Skinamarink. So
jealous.
Anybody who wants to jump in there, I'll be on there with.
If I'm still awake, I might find you and send you a rose or 2.
Do it. I like to get the roses. Yum. So yeah, that's happening at 9 o'clock tonight. All right. Nico, where do we find you on the internet, sir?
You can find me on, just go to nicholasqualls.com, nicholasqualls.com for all my social links. Mostly post on Blue Sky. Check Instagram, actually, my Instagram account, where I post short book reviews for the stuff I've been reading lately. And
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Last book I read, 5th book of the year, was Guards by Terry Pratchett. And I know Tina's ahead of me in book count. That's but Guards by Terry Pratchett. It's my first Pratchett book. It was amazing. I loved it. I will read more Discworld. And yeah, that's it for now.
So you've already read 5 books in 2024?
Tina?
Damn.
I've read, okay. You can find me on most major social medias under Cheddar Popper. That is CheddarPoppr. And if we're pulling out our dicks for the book measuring contest,
Flop it on the table.
I've read 14 books so far, 2 of which have been over 800 pages.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I've seen 9 films in the theater already.
Yeah.
So suck it.
That's what we do instead. Steven, you listen to audiobooks. What
I do.
speed do you listen to your audiobooks at?
Wait, what? What speed?
Yeah.
Oh, I generally listen to it at the regular speed.
Okay, so 1-time speed.
Yeah.
I usually listen to like 1.4, 1.5. Tina?
I listen at 2 times speed.
Psychopath.
That's psychopathic behavior. So the reason I don't do it though is if it's a good narrator, they infuse the reading with a little bit of emotion and stuff, and you take all that out listening to it fast. I've done it, but
Clearly.
like the dramatic pause becomes not a dramatic pause because it's twice as fast as it should have been. Like those kind of things. I like that. I like that aspect of audiobooks. So for me, I'll always listen at regular speed.
Depending on
once you're used to the speed, your brain fills in those dramatic pauses as they should be.
Yeah,
and that emotion as it should.
It picks up like
yeah,
should.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's why we've gotten so many books under our belts.
Yeah, I'm currently on my 5th book, so.
Well, and I only listen to audiobooks at night. Like that's how I wind down at night. I'll put a book on before I go to bed, and if I fall asleep during it, I have to wind it back and listen to the chapter again.
I listen to it if I'm having a slow work day, if I'm doing like minute stuff on my work laptop that I know I don't have to really pay attention to what I'm doing. It's a lot of copy paste.
Yeah, and me, I listen when I'm taking out the dog or when I'm doing chores.
And when I'm taking care of her, like feeding her at night, I'll put in my audiobook and just rock her and listen to audiobooks. Yeah,
so I tried listening to audiobooks during the day, but I spend most of my day copywriting. And if I'm typing copy and I'm hearing words in my head, it all gets like jumbled up. So I can't do that. Yeah.
Zach,
all right.
Where do we find you?
Yeah, Zachy boy, where do we find you, sir?
You can find me on Steam and Discord. I am a Dangerous Mute Lunatic. You can find me with biscuits trying to get my attention right here. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm Master of the Matrix 91, where you can find a picture of biscuits. And of course, you can find me on Letterboxd, Master Z91. What is it, buddy?
All right. So find me right here over on TikTok, OTS Movies. OTS Movies on Letterboxd also. I'm ranking, at least doing a star rating, if not writing a full review of every movie I've seen in the theater this year. And I'm trying to start noting things I watch at home too. I'm working on it. So all that's happening over there. And then I am on Instagram, Off the Shelf Movies, but that's mostly just reposts of my TikTok. So go over there. Go do that thing. All right. We'll see everybody next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.